Alright, now for the chorus. Good to know about the chorus is that you've got the first two bars, they're repeated or played 3 times, and then you got a closing 2 bars, which is the G chord. And then the whole chorus is repeated again, and that is actually pretty much exactly the same. So there is only one variation to it, and we'll get into it quickly. So let's just start by playing the chorus for you first, and then we'll get into how to play it on the guitar. So here we go. Alright, so what do I play? First bar, C chord, second bar, G chord to D5. Then we go back after a couple of repeats to the G chord. Alright, so you take that C chord and you just play that standard picking pattern. Then you take G chord and then you play E, B, G, D, B, G. And then you take that D5 chord and then you play D, B, G, D, B, G. But now that G string is open. So that last G string that you play with your index finger is open. Don't forget it. So you lift your middle finger and you're ready to go. So those 2 bars together, 3, 4. And then we go to the last 2 bars, so bars numbers, what is it? 7 and 8. That's the G chord, and you play it the way you've always played it. And you play it twice. Now the second part of the chorus is exactly the same, except for the fact that where we have those 2 bars of G at the end, you swap them with that part where you have that G to C with G in the bass, back to G. So those last 2 bars of the second chorus are like this. So let's just try to play both the first part of the chorus and the second part of the chorus together. 3, 4. And that's that. Alright, now to the interlude. I'll play it for you first and then we'll get into how to play it on the guitar. So here we go. Alright, what you need to know about the interlude is that it's pretty much the same as the intro, except for bars 3 and 4. The rest is all the same. So what we're going to get into is bars 3 and 4, but before I do that, I'll just show you the chords first. You start off with a C chord, then that D at 11, going to, E minor 9 at 11, to E minor at 11. We'll just call it E minor chord 1 and 2. maybe that's a bit easier. Then back to C again. Then to that B minor flat 6. To E minor. And then G. Alright. So, the beginning is of course the same. So you got that C chord. C to D. Then you keep your fingers as they are, but now you change the bass note from the A string to the E string. So you play. And then you put your little finger in 8th position on the B string. 8th position that would translate to 16th position on the B string. So those first 4 bars would sound like this. 3, 4. Then bars 5 through 8 are exactly the same as the intro, so they should go like this. So the entire interlude together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little mistake there at the end, but I think it's good enough. All right, so you're going to get a couple of verses, you're going to get a couple of choruses. I believe sometimes instead of just 2 bars of G, where you would have normally, he will switch it with C with G in the bass and the G chord after that. But there are not really any serious variations to it, so I'm going to stick to what I've preached in the beginning, and you can check the tab for any small variations, and usually those variations are things he already played in other parts. So to keep this tutorial a bit more compact and concise, I'm gonna leave it at that. So that leaves us only with the bridge that we have to do. And let me just play the bridge for you first, and then we'll get into how to play on the guitar. So what do you play? You start off with E minor, then D5 to C, then to G and C with G in the bass. Repeat that a couple of times, and then you go to A minor 7, and then to that D add 11. So we'll start with that first bar of the bridge. And you play that E string, B string, G string, D string, B string, G string. Then you switch to that D5. Then you play D string, B string, G string, D string, B string, and then open G string. So like this. Then you switch to that C chord. There you play A string, B string, G string, D string, B string, G string, like this. Then you go to that G chord, and there you play G string, B string, G string. Then you put your index finger in first position on the B string, middle finger on second position on the D string, making that that C with G in the bass, and you play them together. simultaneously. And then you make a pull-off with your middle finger. And I believe also with your index finger, actually, come to think of it. And after that, you play G string with your index finger. So like this, the G chord. So that second bar should go like this. And those two bars, bars 1 and 2, in succession, 3, 4. Then we get that A minor 7 chord, and you play that standard picking pattern again. Then you take that D at 11 and you play that same picking pattern. So those two bars in succession, 3, 4. And then the whole bridge is then repeated again. So let's just play the first 8 bars together, and when you play it with the music, you know, with a CD, you just have to repeat the bridge one more time. So like this, 3, 4. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I know it's not the same way that Gareth works, but you know, each teacher has its own way, and sometimes it just takes some time to get, you know, accustomed to a person's teaching style or whatever. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, then you can check my website. Of course, Gareth is going to be here next time again, and he's going to be doing awesome tutorials. So, you know, all the best to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep practicing, keep playing, and I hope to see you again sometime.